Use that same blueprint that you used for your abortion law. Make there be waiting periods. Make them have to come back to the scene more than once. Make them have to answer questions. Why can't you protect living 10-year-olds?
Well, thank you for that question. And let me tell you why we will not have not taken that approach consistent with the legislation you brought up as it relates to innocent unborn life in the womb, is because we have this thing called the Constitution.
What?
Okay. And what we really need to be looking at is, whether it's in Buffalo, whether it's in Uvalde, is these young men, for some reason, that have some very disturbed emotional state. We need to look at our mental health system.
What
and how we
evidence is
get
there that there is a mental health issue here, sir? We heard the same thing from the governor. We heard it from several elected officials. The governor has said there is no known connection to mental health illness.
Right. This person was obviously angry. This person was obviously hateful. That's not mental illness. Okay? That's just not a diagnosable mental illness. Anger, hostility, hatred. I'm sorry, it's just it's not a mental illness. And the Constitution does not talk about 250 years ago. It doesn't talk about semi-automatic weapons. It doesn't talk about magazines that hold 100 rounds of ammo, because they would be stunned to know that a bullet even exists in this world. You're talking muskets and gunpowder, put in little powder packages. And I tell you, this whole lie about, the Constitution allows anybody to have a bazooka or an Uzi or an AK or an AR. It does not. And in fact, when Antonin Scalia wrote the Heller decision, he said this does not entitle you to any weapon of your choice. It was specifically about having a handgun in your home. They just make this crap up so that they can continue the grift, so they can continue to take the money. And you want to know something really sick and weird? Okay, it's sick enough that, just Tuesday was the day of this mass murder, okay? And that was only 10 days after the previous mass murder in the supermarket in Buffalo. I mean, and you know what's really creepy too? No one talks about the Las Vegas shooter anymore. You remember him? I mean, you would just go into a country music concert in Las Vegas on the street, right? And a guy in a hotel is shooting, 58 dead people, like in 2 seconds. Nobody even, we failed to find the motive. Something really strange happened with the Las Vegas shooting, and they never even reference it. It's always, this is the largest mass shooting. 58 freaking people. You could be anywhere in America, and you're not safe. But check this out. So the NRA, just, a few days after this 2 weeks of mass death at the end of these barrels of these guns, are going to go ahead with their annual jubilee. And Greg Abbott, who's the governor of this killing state, Fort Hood, El Paso, Santa Fe, Midland, Odessa, now Uvalde, a tiny little 16,000 population town, tiny little town. Okay, you got 19 dead 10-year-olds. He's going to speak at the National Rifle Association's Summer Jubilee along with Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. That's insulting enough. But check this out. Greg Abbott and Donald Trump don't want guns in the room when they're in the room. And Donald Trump is saying, it has nothing to do with me. It's the Secret Service. Well, if more guns make you safer, wouldn't that be the safest place in the world to be, is in an NRA convention where everybody's armed to the nines, where everybody's armed to the G? Yeah, because that's a lie, too. That's a lie, too. The Secret Service, who is responsible for the safety of the President of the United States and ex-presidents of the United States who qualify for Secret Service protection, decided that being in a room full of guns is not a safe thing. Not safe. But if America really, really believed that more guns made you safer, we would be the safest nation on the planet. And we're not. We're not. The whole world is watching us saying, what the hell is wrong with you people? What?
Verzweifelte Eltern vor der Schule.
A gunman killed 19 children.
Comment imaginer, ne serait-ce qu'un instant?
Yet again, the world's attention is on guns and mass murder in America. In 2020, 45,000 people died in gun violence in the U.S. More than half were suicides, but 19,000 were murders, the most since 1968. While Central and South America lead the world in gun deaths, the U.S. has far higher rates than Canada, Europe, or Asia, which have much stricter gun laws.
Why? They have mental health problems. They have domestic disputes in other countries.
But America has more guns than people, nearly 120 for every 100 Americans.
We should be the safest country on the planet. 120 guns for every 100 people. That should make us super tight safe. It's all a freaking lie. Otherwise, the Secret Service wouldn't have a problem with people being armed with the President of the United States in a room. The governor of the state of Texas wouldn't have a problem being in a room full of people who are armed, especially people from the National Rifle Association. But you know what? They do. They have a problem with it. Now, I got to show you this. I hope I don't get flagged for this, but this is Sky News. Okay, this is over in the UK. The Sky News journalists actually asked Ted Cruz, what is going on with your country? What is going on? I mean, the UK, they're like, no one has a gun. No one has a gun. And guess what else they don't have? School shootings. They don't have them.
There are 19 sets of parents who are never going to get to kiss their child goodnight.
Ugh.
Again.
Makes my skin crawl.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
You know, it's easy to go to politics.
But it's important. It's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
No, it's not. It's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go.
The proposals from Democrats in the media, inevitably, when some violent psychopath murders people.
A violent psychopath who's able to get a weapon so easily. 18-year-old with 2 AR-15s.
If you want to stop violent crime, the proposals the Democrats have, none of them would have stopped this.
But why does this only happen in your country? I really think that's what many people around the world just, they cannot fathom. Why only in America? Why is this American exceptionalism so awful?
You know, I'm sorry you think American exceptionalism is awful.
I think this aspect of it.
You got your political agenda.
No, it's honestly,
God love you.
Senator, it's not. I just want to understand why you do not think that guns are the problem.
Why is this just an American problem?
It is just an American problem, sir.
Mr. Cruz, why is America the only country that faces this kind of mass shooting?
But you can't answer that. You can't answer that, can you, sir? You can't answer that. Why is this country?
Why is it that people come from all over the world to America? Because it's the freest, most prosperous, safest country on earth.
It may be the freest. It may be the most popular.
Why are our kids dying in school?
311,000 of our children have been involved in gun violence in their schools. Listen, he is such a complete and utter propagandist for the NRA. It is just so exceptional what he does. You know, governing is what people are supposed to do when you elect them. They're supposed to govern. It's not politics. It's called governing. And why we have a government is very simple. It's very simple, everybody. We have a government to solve problems that individuals alone cannot solve. That is it. That is the entire function of government. That's why we have a Food and Drug Administration that inspects our food, because we can't do that. That's why we have a Senate. We have a Senate so that they could ban assault weapons. Oh, I can't think of one single thing that would stop the gun violence. Not one single thing. An assault weapons ban might go a really long way to stopping crime and murder with assault weapons, which, by the way, is going to be the excuse in the end about why the cops couldn't go in there. Well, we were outgunned. One single 18-year-old. And all these police officers who responded, apparently according to this briefing we got today, they responded from San Antonio, they responded from, Del Rio, they responded from Laredo, they responded from all over southwest Texas. Oh, they were coming from everywhere. Meanwhile, it was a Border Patrol SWAT team, a tactical team from Border Patrol that literally went in there. Because one kid, one miscreant, one person, and I don't know why women don't do this, but one male with a semi-automatic weapon and the most awesome assemblage of bullets, 300 bullets he had, can outgun entire police forces. And that's what's supposed to give you comfort? That's what's supposed to make you and you know, the Republicans, they just want to escalate. They just want to escalate. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.